Alright, I've got a joke for you. No, I haven't. I've got a Joker review for you.
Arthur, does it help to have someone to talk to?
My mother always tells me to smile and put on a happy face. She told me I had a purpose to bring laughter and joy to the world. Hey, stop them! Is it just me? Or is it getting crazier out there?
Film critics seem to be tearing this movie apart at the moment. And is it as bad as they make out? So we're all aware of the Joker character from Batman. You know, he's from the DC universe. We all know who he is. He's been played by Jack Nicholson, Heath Ledger, probably a ton of others as well, which I don't know. And this film is the backstory of Joker. And after the trailers came out, I'm not sure if you agree with me, but I liked it because there was no CGI in it, and even Todd Phillips, the director, had said there was going to be no CGI in this film. That for me was a bonus. So me, like millions, maybe billions of others, were really excited about seeing this film. And even like today, when I went to see the film, it was the first IMAX screen of the day and the cinema was packed. I understand the film has been out in the rest of the world for a couple of days, that people in Australia, I think in America, they've seen it already. We got it kind of last in the UK for some reason. It's a bit strange. We usually get things first, but we got it last this time. And what I've read so far is that people, like film critics, aren't liking this film at all. No one seems to be liking it on the critic front. You know, and while everyone seems to be tearing it apart, I think, to be honest, I think a lot of people are actually enjoying this film, including myself, because I quite like this film. I'm not going to say it's the best film of 2019 or it's like the best film of the decade or anything like that. I'm not even going to say it's the best film of October, but it is a good film. I think everyone that's seen it, and probably everyone who dislikes it as well, will all agree that the performance by Joaquin Phoenix, it is sensational, and I think that is something we're all going to agree on, and there's no need for me to elaborate on that anymore. But I'm really not understanding why people don't like this film. I think if you like the character of the Joker from the Batman films, I think it's quite an interesting story. And this is no different to what Marvel and DC have done before anyway, like with some of their characters. Like even with DC films, you've got the Justice League film, but you've also got the other films like, you know, the Wonder Woman film. The only difference with this film is though, is that this Joker film, it's not wrapped up in a cute little bow where it looks really pretty. And it's not showing off some like lavish kind of billionaire lifestyle like, you know, like Bruce Wayne and Batman have, or this really lovely island that Wonder Woman came from or anything like that. It's not showing this really like plush, lavish lifestyle that these characters have. This one is a villain's story. It's a villain's origin. And it's a dark film with a dark story over the dark backdrop of Gotham City. And I think that's what makes this film so different. It feels more real. And it's just like any other character in the comic book world, that it's a tale of someone finding their place in the world, but this time it's the villain finding his place in the world. And it is an interesting story, especially when you think about the way Jack Nicholson played it and Heath Ledger played it, and how this could be the official backstory of Joker. There wasn't a single time in it where I felt I was bored. It was just very engaging the whole way through. There was like, it was interesting, and it, you know, you feel for this character sometimes, even though he's going to end up bad at the end of it. It had a really cool soundtrack as well. I liked the soundtrack, that was good. But the only thing I didn't like is I just wish it had been a little shorter, like around 90 minutes instead of 2 hours. I think if it had been 90 minutes, it would have been a nice little, whatever I'm going to call that. I don't know what that is, but you know, I wish it was just I just wish it was a bit tighter and a bit shorter, that's all. I've also read that people are saying that they're worried that people are going to go out into the world. This film is going to cause people to go and do bad things in the world. But it's just a movie. It's like there's been more violent movies out there. This is only a 15 certificate film. It's not even an 18. It's not that bad. I think the problem at the moment, there's just too many films out there where every film and every studio is just trying to be too PC. And I like this one because it goes against that grain. And personally, I'm getting really fed up of seeing films these days where everything has to fit the 12A or the 15 certificate just so families can go and watch the film, and it has to be very sensible, very PC, very diverse. And I think this Joker film made me feel like we've gone back to the 1970s again, where filmmakers were given like kind of their free reign, you know, when it came to making films. There was no studio interference or anything like that. And I think this one from Todd Phillips, I think this is kind of like that. He's made his own version of the Joker from this. Well, I don't know if he had much studio input from this, but I mean, it just feels like there wasn't too much in there. So I like this film. Like I say, it's not the best film I've seen this year, and it's probably not a film I watch again unless it was on maybe TV or something, or maybe just like if I had 2 hours to kill, maybe that's it. But it's not terrible. I don't know why everyone thinks it's terrible. It's not terrible. Joaquin Phoenix is really good in it. I love how the city of Gotham is portrayed in this film. I love how they made it really dark and really sinister. And I would say that this is an underdog story, but it's kind of not. It's not an underdog story. It's a Gotham underdog story. There's a huge difference.
If you just